Have you ever felt that behind his smile, there's something unsaid? A silence that carries weight? A look that seems to smile but screams inside? The angels say, he smiles to hide, but inside he feels you like he's never felt anyone else. Since you arrived, something has been awakened in him. A memory of something he has never experienced. A desire for surrender that frightens him more than any loneliness. You are not a coincidence. You are a calling. This love was not born from chance. It was born from a promise. A promise made before time. Before bodies. Before words. And now, the promise awakens. His heart knows it's you. Even if his mind tries to distract him. Even if he says he doesn't know. Even if you see him laughing with others, trying to pretend normalcy. But you feel it. And the sky confirms it. This man is not cold. He is in conflict. Because no one has ever touched him the way you have. You are not just another girl. You were the first to see the soul he hides behind so many rehearsed gestures. He wants to surrender, but he doesn't know how. He wants to open up, but he was taught to close off. He wants to love, but he is afraid of losing himself in what he feels for you. And that's why the angels show you now, you are not confused. You are connected. This smile he gives you, sometimes light, sometimes forced, is just the surface. What lies beneath is a whirlwind. And in that whirlwind, your name echoes. You were sent to remind him of who he is. To show him that feeling is not a weakness. That love is not a threat. That truth can be a refuge. Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart. Jeremiah 1 verse 5. This connection was written. And what is written in the heavens does not fade away in the fear of earth. He has learned to survive by smiling. To go unnoticed even when he's collapsing inside. To say I'm fine, while his chest tightens with words he never had the courage to release. The angels say, he doesn't pull away from a lack of feeling. He pulls away because he feels too much. You awakened a field within him that had been dormant. A place where the desire to love deeply resides. But this place was locked away long ago. Perhaps in childhood. Perhaps due to a disappointment he never admitted. Maybe the day he realized no one would choose him entirely. And now he smiles. But the smile is a shield. You see it. You feel it. You notice the wavering, the fatigue in his eyes, the presence that is never complete. He fights against you not because he rejects you, but because what you provoke within him is too immense. You are not easy to forget. Because it wasn't just about affection. It was soul. It was mirror. It was truth. And truth, when we are not yet ready, feels like a threat. You touched where no one else has. Not just the body, but the spirit. And because of that, he tries to resist. He tries to find in others what he only found in you. But he fails. Because true love cannot be replicated. And even when he's distant, he feels. He carries you in the gestures that no one sees. In the held breath when your name is remembered. In the long silence when he tries to move on. The angels are with him. Working on those layers that he doesn't understand. Knocking down walls. Weakening beliefs. Softening pride. And you who think you are being forgotten, are in fact being remembered all the time. You are not absence. You are a presence that does not fade. You surrendered with an open heart. With eyes that said, I'm here, even when he seemed distant. You gave of yourself in a way he has never seen. And perhaps, never knew how to receive. Now it is time to return to yourself. Not as a retreat, but as a return to your origin. The angels say, she needs to remember that love is not the absence of self, but abundance within herself. You don't have to exhaust yourself for him to awaken. Nor do you need to prove yourself for him to see you. True love does not demand sacrifice of your light. It grows when you bloom too. You have been putting yourself on hold. in pause, in silence, as if loving were waiting for a response. But the answer is already within you. You are love before being someone's choice. And what you feel for him is real, yes. But it cannot become a place where you abandon yourself. You are still a woman. You are still life. You are still light. You are still a path. He is in process, in transition, in confusion, but you need to remain in yourself. Steadfast, serene, intense, just as you have been from the beginning. What touches him is not how much you insist. It's how much you remain whole, even while feeling. The angels continue to whisper, as she takes care of herself, he finds himself. And taking care of yourself now is the greatest act of faith. Start looking at yourself with love again. Start feeding yourself with pleasure, art, spirituality with you. Because this love, no matter how divine it is, cannot be the only space where you exist. You are so much more than waiting. You are presence in motion. And that's exactly what he needs to feel. That even while loving, you choose yourself. And by seeing that, he might for the first time want to choose you too. He tries to maintain the mask, the control, the image of someone who is fine, who has moved on, who feels nothing anymore. But every time he sees you, every time he thinks of you, something within him breaks. You are the mirror he avoids, but cannot ignore. The angels say, she reveals him. That's why he trembles. Because you didn't just touch his heart, you saw him. You saw beyond the behavior, beyond the defenses, beyond the posture. You saw what he hides even from himself. And when a soul is seen in this way, there's no going back to sleep. You didn't say much, but your presence spoke. He didn't demand anything from you, but he felt the weight of responsibility. He didn't seek love from you, but he found himself wanting to be better for you. This is the mirror effect. He looks at you and sees everything he could be, but isn't yet. Everything he could live, but hasn't had the courage to. Everything he could feel, if only he would stop running away. And that's why sometimes he stays silent. Other times, he distances himself. Sometimes, he tries to provoke. But all of this is a reaction to what you awaken in him. You don't need to do anything else. Your light has already done it. It has already shown it. It has already marked it. And even if he doesn't say it, even if he tries to hide it, he knows, you weren't just another person. You were the turning point. The beginning of the end of the lies, he told himself. The angels are with him in the moments he finds himself in conflict. They are showing him that the reflection you revealed is not a threat, it is an invitation. An invitation to heal, to surrender, to true love. And even if he still struggles, he has already seen. And those who see, do not forget. He has been feeling things he can't put into words. Sensations that come without warning. Emotions that swell when he tries to hide them. There are days he wakes up with a nameless longing, and even without admitting it, that face is yours. The angels say, he is awakening. And what awakens, does not fall back asleep. This man who once seemed cold, distant, unreachable, is being touched. From within. By memories. By pauses. By the echo of what you both experienced and what he didn't have the courage to fully live. He doesn't speak, but he feels. He doesn't confess, but he seeks. He doesn't own up to it, but he observes. His mind still resists, trying to contain what his heart has already accepted. But his body speaks. His gaze reveals. His soul begs. And that's why he has started to remember details about you at the most unexpected moments. That's why he feels your absence as a presence. That's why he thinks of writing to you, and then erases it. That's why he watches in silence, and pretends to be indifferent. You planted something. Not like someone who forces it, but like someone who touches gently. And now, that seed has broken through the fear. He doesn't know what's happening. He only knows that something inside him has changed. And it wasn't time. It was you. It was what you left behind even when you walked away. It was who you were even when you didn't try to be. And now, he's starting to understand that what seemed simple was love. The angels are by his side at this moment. They are showing the way back not to the past, but to what can still be lived. The awakening won't be a lightning bolt. It will be a series of small miracles. And each one of them has its own name. You started this process. And heaven is carrying it on. He will still seek you out. Not because you insisted, but because you touched a place where no one else can reach. He tries to control what he feels. But love doesn't accept being tamed. It's like an internal tide that rises every time he thinks he's put enough distance between them. He tries to move on. But something always pulls him back. The angels say, he is caught between escape and the call. That's why you see this repeated movement. He gets close, and then vanishes. He says he wants, and then falls silent. He shows himself, and then disappears again. But none of it is a game. It's fear. A deep fear of surrendering to what he feels for you. You are not instability. You are truth. And he never knew what to do with truths like that. This cycle, this back and forth, has been his way of rehearsing courage. He draws near when the soul takes control. He pulls away when the mind starts to dominate again. You are not being forgotten. You are being processed from within. It's as if he needs to distance himself to try to rationalize. But every time he tries to erase you, the memory burns brighter. Because it wasn't just desire. It was connection. It was something greater than words, deeper than promises. And even in confusion, he feels. He misses you even before you leave. He feels your presence even when you don't speak. He feels that with you there was peace. The angels continue to uphold this love from within. They are breaking this cycle from the inside first, so that, on the outside, it can finally come together whole. You don't need to do anything right now. Because this movement that seems repetitive is actually exhausting the pattern. And what comes after emotional exhaustion is the raw truth. It's the reunion. It's the surrender. This love is not stagnant. It's maturing from within. He hasn't realized yet, but he is changing. Not in a visible way, but inside. In silence. Like someone who feels relief without knowing where it comes from. Like someone who starts to breathe differently, without understanding why. The angels say, her love is healing spaces he never dared to touch. You didn't have to shout, or demand, or insist. Your presence was enough. Your constancy, your steady gaze, your unhurried surrender. That was what began to open pathways inside him, pathways that had been closed for years. He always thought that to be loved, he needed to prove himself, to change, to be someone better. But you loved before the change. You loved his chaos. You loved the mess and the potential. You loved what was not yet ready. And it is this love that is healing. Healing the distorted image he has of himself. Healing the belief that love requires suffering. Healing the fear of not being enough. Now he begins to see himself through your eyes. And he starts to want to be someone better, not to deserve you, but to be able to sustain what he feels. You are doing more for him with your silent presence than any words ever could. Because love, when it's true, carries a healing frequency. And yours is medicine. He still won't say it. It will still seem confusing. He will still hesitate. But inside, he already knows. With you, he felt something he has never felt before. With you, he felt seen. And the love that sees, heals. The angels continue to work in this invisible field between you two. And every act of love from you is being recorded in his heart, like light that cleanses, like wind that soothes, like fire that warms. You are already transforming him. And when he realizes, it will be too late to pretend he doesn't feel. The time may seem slow, the answers distant, but nothing is at a standstill. Everything is being guided by hands you cannot see, but that move destinies with divine precision. The angels say, she waits with faith, and her faith opens doors he could never touch on his own. You may not know what's happening with him right now. You might feel sidelined, forgotten, invisible, but the heavens are watching. And heaven does not ignore the woman who loves truly. What you've given, no one can take away. What you've planted, no one can uproot. What has been written between you, no silence can undo. He is being led from within. He is being called to look at himself, to reflect, to break free. And you are being protected while this happens. You might think you are just waiting, but in reality, you are being refined. Prepared to receive a love that doesn't hurt, that doesn't hesitate, that doesn't run away. And when he arrives, he won't be the same anymore. Neither will you. Because true love only blooms when both are ready. The angels are sealing the right time, closing doors that once allowed chains to enter, removing what delays, purifying the path. And you, even without seeing, already feel. You sense that something greater is in motion. You feel that this love was not just a passage. You feel that all of this has purpose. Commit your way to the Lord, trust in Him, and He will do this. Psalm 37 verse 5. This promise is for your heart that still waits with tenderness. And heaven guarantees, no true faith returns empty. God's timing is never late. And when everything aligns, love will arrive. Without fear, without fleeing, without doubt. He still protects himself. He still weighs his words. He still holds inside his chest a feeling he doesn't dare name. But the truth is, you are the only one who makes him wish to be real. The angels say, she is the space where he can finally rest from the struggle of being strong all the time. You didn't ask for anything. You didn't demand answers. You just stayed. With eyes that saw beyond. With a presence that said, you can be you here. And even without knowing what to do with that, he felt. He felt that with you he doesn't have to pretend. That he can talk about what he's never said. That he can show the mess without fear of rejection. But still, he hesitates. Because no one taught him that vulnerability is a bridge. Because he still confuses surrender with loss. Because he still carries the pains that made him harden. You see this. You see the rigidity that hides the tenderness. You see the control that masks the fear. You see the pride that, in truth, is protection. And even seeing all of this, you did not back down. And for that, he loves you. Even in silence. Even from a distance. Even without words. Because love begins in the permission to be. The angels continue to say, she doesn't want him to be perfect, just true. And he begins to understand that with you. He doesn't need to defend himself. He just needs to allow himself. He will wipe every tear from their eyes. There will be no more death or mourning or crying or pain. Revelation 21 verse, for the pain he carries is dissolving. And what is being born now is courage. Courage to feel. To trust. To come. You did not save him. You reminded him that he can still love without fear. And that is the miracle. It's time to let go. Not out of surrender, but out of trust. Trust that what is true doesn't need to be forced. That the right love doesn't ask for proof, nor rush, nor suffering. The angels say, she did all she could. Now, it's time to let the heavens act. You did not lose him. Because what was real never gets lost. You simply entrusted him to a time that isn't yours. And that is the highest form of love. You held on, felt, waited. Loved without return, believed without guarantees, cared without applause. And now, you can rest. The love you offered was not in vain. He already moves within him, even if he does not yet know how to name it. He has already transformed something profound. He has already left a mark. And when the time comes, that love will return. Not as before, but renewed. No longer in silence, but with presence. Not in pieces anymore, but whole. The angels surround you now, with light, with comfort, with honor. You have been true to what you felt. You were steadfast without hardening. You were deep without demanding. And that is extremely rare. Now the only thing they ask of you is, allow yourself to live. As he journeys inward, you journey into your own light. And if one day he knocks on your door with different eyes, with a healed heart, with a ready soul, you will know. You will know it was worth it. You will know it was him, but it needed to happen at the right time. You will know that love, when awaited with dignity, one day returns as a blessing. The angels fall silent. Because now, it is heaven that acts.